Hi, my name is Mohammed Mia, a student on course BS 2928 Software Development for the year 2020-2021. Today I'll be walking you and talking you through my application that I've built as part of this summative assignment for this module. Um, Goes by the name of Secure 24/7. Um, I'll walk you through the purpose of the application, the software methodology approach applied, the testing aspects and elements of the application, as well as then a virtual walkthrough of the application itself. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the purpose of the application. So in my particular scenario, I am a developer working for an IT supplier who are working on behalf of a government department, delivering a project or working on a contract for that particular government department. Um, Due to recent security events and incidents, or the increased amount of incidents being raised by the client, the IT supplier have decided that they need to address this issue. And in order to address it, we've come up with the solution of a training game initiative. So where members coming onto the project as new members or current existing members will all have to partake in this training to show the client that we are actually addressing the issue, um, and more importantly, to bring the number of incidents raised to reduce those. Um, so yeah, and by doing so, this will increase customer confidence as well as enhancing the supplier's reputation. Moving on from there, talking about software methodology approach applied. So again, in this particular case, for this assignment, I chose the waterfall approach. Um, as you can see on screen there, I've mentioned quite a few benefits of the waterfall approach, and I'll talk off each of those points as to why I believe it was the right approach taken and how it was related to the actual application that was built. Starting from the top, so it is one of the easiest models to manage because of its nature. Each phase has specific deliverables and a review process. Um, so yeah, talking about my application and the sort of wider background of it. So from a supply perspective, we didn't want to be spending too much money on and time on the creation of this application. We knew it was important. However, as it came at an internal cost, we wanted to keep costs down. It wasn't a chargeable thing. It was a chargeable product, sorry. So we decided that waterfall was the best approach to take. We knew what the end goal was, we knew what the requirements were, and we knew what we wanted to achieve. So we didn't believe agile was a suitable manner, and again, we wanted to do it in a timely and cost-effective manner as well. We're coming off the back of that. So it works well for smaller size projects where requirements are easily understandable. So again, yeah, we understood what the requirements were, easily understandable, and it wasn't a major, it wasn't like a massive project. Um, so, and that's why again, in this particular case for this training game, Secure 24/7, it worked well. The process and results are well documented, as you will see in my software development portfolio. And as you will see towards the end of this presentation, where I walk you through the actual application. The final point there, this project management methodology is beneficial to manage dependencies. So the dependencies, again in this case, being related back to what the dependencies were from the client. We wanted to address the issues of security, the number of security incidents being raised. Um, and so yeah, and that's how it relates to that final point there. And just a reference there at the bottom showing where I've sourced this information from. Moving on from there, talking about the testing aspects of it now. So there are a number of approaches to testing or different types of testing. I've chosen functionality testing against the requirements set out in the assignment. The other types of testing include unit testing, regression testing, functionality testing, as I've chosen as part of my assignment. Talking off each one of those points there, so testing was conducted against the requirements of the application listed in the assignment. So I believe functionality testing was the most appropriate, purely because um, as you'll see when I go through the virtual walkthrough, um, the requirements, I believe, are best evidence, or the evidence of the requirements being met would be best evidence via functionality testing, and not through unit or regression testing, those aspects of it. Thorough testing was conducted on past and also, on failed tests as well as past tests as well. So usually what you'd find, or what I've seen in the past, when something passes, not enough testing is done on it, because it's a pass. People sort of seem to, folk tend to get a bit lenient. But as you'll see in my portfolio, there's a number of tests, thorough tests, repeated tests, sorry, on all of the individual tests that were taken or conducted, sorry. Also, as mentioned at the start, independent research was done on the different types of testing to identify and conclude which form of testing was best suitable to demonstrate the different requirements and functions of the application. Moving on from there. So before I do the actual walkthrough, just a few of the points that we'll be going, that I'll talk you through in terms of chronological order. So I'll introduce you to the application, accessibility and usability in regards to the Sustained Development Act, and how this sort of was applied and is related to in terms of when I was creating my project. Features and functions of the application, meeting the requirements that were set out at the start, and in the end I'll be assessing myself in terms of whether the application was a success or a failure. Moving on now to the actual virtual walkthrough of the application. So you can see here within my PyCharm projects, I've set my project here and I've just named the actual Python file called GUI. So let's double click on the file to open the application up. Okay, I'll just minimize that. Okay, now let's drag this down. So here at the start of the application, so everything that you will see in this walkthrough is also being detailed within my portfolio, within the wireframes. So I won't be going into touching too much on those, on these particular details, but I will be giving a basic background of each particular function of the game. So starting off here, so let's just fill in the details. Let's put in my name, my surname, email address, put my work's email address. And then put my role, developer. Okay, so now once we filled in these bits of information, let's click the continue button. Okay, so this screen here, so we're still following on from the registration from the previous screen. As part of the requirements, we're to have an on-screen character for the duration of the game. So we've got two options here from these avatars here. I'll select this one here. You got the terms and conditions of the actual game itself, and if I just maximize that, you'll see that the full set of terms and conditions. Now if we click complete, agree and complete. Okay, so you've got the welcome page here. So as per the requirements as well, the avatar, or the on-screen character, sorry, was required to sort of move through the different stages, or the different screens within the application. So you got the option here of either clicking the continue button via the mouse, or if you just simply tap the enter button, the character then moves across the screen. Let's just wait for it to get there. Okay, so let's bring this back here. So, and again, as part of the requirements here, you can see at the top there, we've got the progress bar. Just above the progress bar, to the right, you've got the score, which is accumulated by the user as they progress through the training. You've got the introduction to the game here, the purpose and the end goal. And again, I'll just maximize that just to show you all the information. And then the user from here has got a continue button that they can click on to continue, or they can click the enter button. And we've also got the save and quit feature as well, or the function, shall I say, as per the requirements of the the assignment. So what I'll do here is I'll click enter, and that will then allow the character to progress through the screen. Okay, let's just move that back down here again. So I just wanted to now sort of focus on the save and quit feature of the game. So one of the requirements was that the user at any time can save the current progress that they had made and come back to it any time. So if I was to now click save and quit, let's do that. So you can see the application closes. So what I'll do now is I'll just open back up the application, and let's just double click that, minimize that, and minimize that. And you can see we've just come back straight to where the user had left it before. Also, what I wanted to show you, what I wanted to focus on here as well, you can see the progress bar has now started to slowly make its way across the screen. So if I click continue, again I can click enter here, or click continue just to make it a bit quicker. You can see that it has now also increased again, and you will see as I go through walk you through the game, it will continue to progress as well, and you can see that the score is accumulating here as well. So let's click the enter button again. Okay, so as per the wireframes, I'm not going to go into too much detail of what's on the screen, but as per the wireframes, you'll be able to see detail in the portfolio as well as the requirements of the game. So this is more of an information based training game. So you got here, so as you saw in the previous two screens, you had the questions, or you had some information, some questions then, and then the answers. And this particular screen here is being informative. So we've got some information on the screen about why security is so important. Gives the user a bit of information, and then we can click continue. Again, when the new screen appears, you see the progress bar again is progressing, the score is accumulating. And then you've got questions based on the previous screen and the previous screen's information. So you've got 3 questions, and if you click continue, it then gives you the answers. So that just progresses. If I just show you, you just click continue again, or click enter. The character continues to move across screen. Next screen appears. We can click continue again. Got more information, then questions on the back of that, and then you've got your answers. Click continue, and then we've got the lessons learned. So this is coming towards the end of the training now, what you've learned. Some instructions on there if you've got any security related queries or concerns. So if click continue again, and then we've got a statement here at the end saying we've now completed the training. Now if we click continue, we then have the leaderboard. Now the leaderboard was another requirement of the game. So you can see here we've got leaderboard, and then we've got the names of the people who have completed the training. So you can see an additional feature of my game, which was that the details that the user inputted at the start, where I put my name in as Mohammed, it also then appears at the end here. If I click end, the application has now closed. So that was a walkthrough of my application. I'm just going to go back to full screen here. Now, I believe, based on those points on the screen, I've hit all of those, especially meeting the requirements, the features and functions. And whether it was a success or failure, I do believe so. Overall, it was a success. And in terms of the sustainable development and the accessibility and usability, I believe that the application is quite simple and straightforward. It's not an application that's going to have effects on people in third world countries who have not got access to these types of developments or these applications as well. Um, and again, this will be detailed in my has been detailed in my portfolio, which you can see more details within that as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.